Greetings, and welcome to a Final Fantasy XIV video. So, finally, the Dragoon, the third, is it the third, I think? Hold on, let me check. I'm a little confused right now. Is it? No, it is the fourth of the physical DPS class and the last one that we were missing to have a look at. So, the Dragoon, what do you think about it? Well, I believe that it is the number 3 in terms of interesting classes to play. The first being the Ninja, and then the Monk, and then the Dragoon. Mostly because the jumping around as a Dragoon and launching your spear at enemies is it's actually pretty fun. But let us take a look at our level 70 to level 80 abilities, shall we? So first, Cooldown Timer. This actually finishes off our AoE weapon skill combination that goes from Doom Spike into Sonic Thrust and now finally ending with Cooldown Timer. Based on the way dungeons are run these days, this is absolutely necessary. And the fact that it also extends the duration of Blood of the Dragon by 10 seconds is very nice. Then, High Jump. So this replaces your normal jump with this one. Now, normal jump tends to take around a second to complete its full animation, leaving you vulnerable. High Jump completes it in less than half a second, which is very, very nice. It deals a lot of damage and receives the jump bonus from Blood of the Dragon. As you can see right there, increase the potency of High Jump. So, by 30%, that means this thing hits for 520 points. At least with Blood of the Dragon active. And finally, Star Diver. As you can see, it's 600 potency, which is very nice, but can only be executed while under the effect of Life of the Dragon. So that means we are only going to be able to use this around once every minute, which kind of sucks, but hey, it's a hard setting ability. Now, let's talk about weapon skill combinations, because this is the important part of the Dragoon. So all the way up to Stormblood, the two weapon skill combinations are True Thrust into Disembowel, Chaos Thrust, Wheeling Thrust into Fang and Claw, and then the second one is True Thrust, Vorpal Thrust, Full Thrust, and then Fang and Claw into Wheeling Thrust, and that is where it ended. But now we have a new trait here, which is, here we go. Not only does this increase the potency of our main abilities, but as you can see, grants Right in Thrust ready if Fang and Claw is executed following Wheeling Thrust, or vice versa, while adhering to directional requirements. This means that if we finish our weapon skill combinations with Wheeling Thrust in its proper direction, or Fang and Claw with its proper direction, we will be able to use Right in Thrust. Now, Right in Thrust is nothing to write home about. As you can see, it's only a 330 potency. This one's 290. It's just a little bit of extra damage and a little bit of fun. But really, that's all it is. Now, what about our jumps? Well, obviously we want to do them when we have Blood of the Dragon active. Now, the unfortunate part about the Dragoon is that a lot of its abilities do not have shared cooldown timer. So this is 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and 120 seconds. So after you start using all 3 of them in the initial part of the fight, they're going to come out at different times, and it becomes a game of whack-a-mole in using anything that comes off cooldown the moment it comes off cooldown. Unfortunately, the same thing applies with our buffs, so we have Lance Charge at 90 seconds, Dragon Sight at 120, and Battle Litany at 180. So, let's say a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes. So, yeah. So, what we could technically have some very strong burst windows. After we do it initially, there's no way that it'll land on its own, unless if we get to use something, at which point our DPS is going a little bit down. So, yeah. We have an initial burst of nice damage after using all 3 of these, but after that we essentially are left with use them as soon as they come off cooldown and keep going with our rotation. Same thing with our jumps. Now, one of the fun things about the Dragoon is we do have Elusive Jump, which is very nice. This lets us jump back from the boss from anything it's going to do, and then we can jump back in with either Spine Shadow Dive or Dragonfire Dive or Star Diver, which are all pretty cool. So let's take a look at the weapon skill combination. So there we go, and then go into Disembowel, into Chaos Thrust. I completely forgot. We need to have Blood of the Dragon active in order to be able to do everything properly. There we go. So stay behind and then move to the side. And there's Right in Thrust. As you can see, it's a little on the boring side, but hey, what can we do? So start on the side, just for maximum damage, and then in the back. There we go. And that is the basic weapon skill combinations for the Dragoon. Now let's talk about jumps. Now, one of the things I noticed while leveling is that right now, or at least now at level 78, if you look at our traits, as you can see, Blood of the Dragon and Life of the Dragon will now last a base time of 30 seconds. This is very important because before this level, if you use, let's see, where is it? Gator Skull with 2 Blood of the Dragon eyes open, it will turn into Nastron, and then you use it. And then your point is you're trying to use this as often as possible during the Life of the Dragon duration. Unfortunately, because it's got a 10-second recast timer, and the Blood of the Dragon used to have a 20-second duration unless you overcharged it using Wheeling, Thrust, and Fang and Claw on a single target, you would not have enough time to cast a third Nastron during the duration. Now, luckily, because it has a base duration of 30 seconds, we now have plenty of time to cast the 3 of them, which is very, very nice. So during our weapon skill rotations, we are going to start with Blood of the Dragon, and then we're going to start with High Jump, which will allow us to use Mirage Dive. And at that point, hopefully, we are closing in. Like so, and then trigger Mirage Dive so as to get it going. We can use one Grayskull Ghoul while we wait for everything to come back off cooldown. There's Ride and Thrust ready. Now, right now, we are not using our buff because we are saving them for when we trigger Life of the Dragon, which is almost up. So, here it comes. It's ready. There's the second jump. Now, before we're going to trigger this, trigger that, and this one as well. Double Nastron. There we go. There we go. Finish it off with that. Okay, here comes the second Nastron. There it goes. Then trigger Life Surge into this for maximum damage. There we go. 40,000. Beautiful. That is what we were looking for. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, that 40,000 damage full thrust that we were able to do is all thanks to the fact that we had the damage amplification from Disembowel, the damage amplification from Lance Charge, the damage amplification from Dragon Sight, and the guaranteed critical from Life Surge. So as you can see, Life Surge is an amazing ability that you always want to use exclusively with full thrust if you're on a single target rotation. You saw how hard this thing hit with that thing. I think the only thing that came close to that amount of damage was the Black Mage's critical, what was it called? The new ability to have a single target. That's the only thing that came close to that thing's damage. But yeah, as you can see, right now we are on that point where our damage is very low because we have no damage amplification. Most of our jumps are on cooldown except for this one. Oh, and I forgot to use Star Diver. I just got it like yesterday, so I'm still getting used to having it. But yeah, use it as whenever it's possible. But as you can see, after you use your initial burst, you are constantly playing whack-a-mole with all of your abilities. Making sure your jumps are on cooldown, making sure your buffs are on cooldown, making sure you use Life Surge with full thrust, making sure you're jumping and using Mirage Dive whenever possible, making sure everything is, yeah. It's a whole whack-a-mole game. So now let's just show you the AoE rotation because it's actually very easy. There we go, into Sonic Thrust, into the Coercion Torment. As you can see, that is literally it. That is all you're going to be doing for the most of your time in dungeons. Let's take a look at Coercion Torment from the side, shall we? Okay, there's that one, full thrust. And there we go, very nice. So as you can see, Coercion Torment does not have particularly long range. Nowhere near as long as those two. Oh, there we go, so it's got about pretty much the same range. But yeah. That is the other thing you're going to be doing as an AoE rotation. Other than that, you throw in Dragon Fire Dive and your normal jump just to get into Life of the Dragon. Use Star Diver whenever it comes off cooldown. And that is literally going to be your life as a Dragoon. Just remember, you also have fun abilities like this to help get out of sticky situations. You jump back in up against the boss, which is pretty cool. And if push comes to shove, you can always just toss your spear at them, just like that. So yeah, the Dragoon, definitely a fun class to play. It takes a little bit getting used to, especially as before you get the 30-second Blood of the Dragon. It takes a while to get used to making sure you have at least 24 seconds before you use your Nastron. But once you get to level 80, all of that goes out the window, and you can have a lot more fun. So, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time when I believe I am currently working on the Machinist and slowly leveling up the Dancer, and then at that point we only have the Bard left. So anyway, later.